wells. Shake off the start to the week with karaoke on day nights. And don't forget, the hour is every day, 3 to 6 p.m., and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Heart of Havelock.
Plumbing, heating, air, and electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, TO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
It's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM First. 93.7 The Ticket. This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me short. Look at me short. And the captain.
Three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Touchdown. Vershawn Jackson, number 34, gets the touchdown. Terrell Farley, defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. 43.
Jake Bachman.
I'm talking a few catch. There's a bot got some game, man.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson.
Yes, it's Friday. The Ticket, the Captain Show, 93.7 on the Black Shirt, Terrell Farley, and I'm with
Bach.
And who else I'm with?
Mike Melby.
Oh, yeah. There we go. They are right on tune today. How you doing today, Bach?
Oh, not too bad. We missed you yesterday. Hopefully, did you enjoy your birthday? Did you have a post after your birthday celebration?
No. I had to move stuff. So, but it was easy, though.
Oh, that's good.
I did the hard work from let them unload the truck, and I put it at the top of the stairs, and I walk it down to the basement, and I stack it how I want it, because now I know where the Christmas stuff at, I know where the Halloween stuff at, and I know where the Thanksgiving stuff at.
There you go.
So, I have to do it myself.
How's the man cave coming along? Pretty much all set up?
I went and got the rest of the Husker stuff, and I got some of my stuff, so I'm going to start this weekend by probably putting some pictures up after I get me about 20 games of Madden in, because I'm going to go pick that up today and start my own football team today.
There you go. It is an exciting day for many video gamers out there with Madden football being released. We'll see. It hasn't had the best reviews in the last couple of years.
I know.
We'll see. Hopefully they've made some changes to get better. Mike Melby joining us in the studio, as we mentioned. Yesterday, Tom Stevens jumped in, so we figured let's get the whole Husker Rewind crew in here for a couple days, cross promote, and kind of get your thoughts heading into the season. We're less than 2 weeks away, guys.
We're less than 2 weeks
How
away.
exciting is that?
Yeah, hey, I'm excited. It's getting to the point where it's officially football season now. I know week 0's next week.
That's right.
So we probably have 1 or 2 games.
Oh, there's probably like 6 or 7 of them. Not all of them that you're going to want to watch. But,
yeah, that's all right.
But yeah,
but it's football. It's been a long time.
That's right.
You are going to want to watch.
Either way, I'll watch it. I love week 0.
It's good to take a nap on them not so good games, but when you turn over, you still hear them. So you're hearing football.
Right.
You hear something. But yeah, I got a question for you guys this morning. Now, we all know for the NFL who's America's team.
Well, of course, my team.
Who's that?
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. So we all know who's America's team for the NFL. Who's America's team for college football? Now, I got a list of teams. It's 10 of them. It's 10 of them. I want everybody on the text line, somebody call in and tell me who is America's college football team. We got the Dallas Cowboys for the NFL.
And anybody that's not a Cowboys fan will argue that point with you.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because I'm still going to win because the Cowboys are America's team.
Yeah.
It's like a built-in nickname now.
Yeah.
Some people will try to say Pittsburgh, the Steelers, just because of Franco and Terry Bradshaw, or they got good history. But, for me, I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
But, Bach, give me a couple of teams who you think is Give me one.
The first name that comes to my mind because of history and tradition is Notre Dame. I would think of Notre Dame, but I mean,
number 3 on this list.
Number 3 on the list. Okay, so that's where my mind first went. But there's a lot of with that team, there's a lot of hatred going back. So maybe that's part of what America's team is, because it's the same way with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think USC might be on the list.
Yes, USC's on the list. Number 2.
Number 2. Okay.
Yeah,
really.
What am I thinking of number 1 then?
It better not be who I'm worried it is.
Who?
Don't tell me it's Alabama.
No,
not Alabama.
That's 7.
Okay.
That's 7. No Nebraska though, but we can't say Huskers because you got
for 10 teams.
The first thing I thought of though when you said America's team for college football was just simply one of the 4 academies: Army, Navy, Air Force. Well, 3: Army, Navy, or Air Force.
Yeah.
Neither one of those made.
No, but and I understand why from that standpoint. But that was immediately America's team. Yeah.
I'm gonna start it from the bottom.
All right.
Number 10, Florida Gators.
Okay. It's hard to imagine that it's America's
this list is kind of stupid to me, but I just want to talk about.
Well, it's hard. Okay. I mean, it was hard to come up with 10 names, so they're not all going to sound.
Number
great.
9.
Yeah.
LSU Tigers.
I was thinking about maybe LSU. That's a popular destination for a college football fan to go see the game at Tiger Stadium, night game particularly.
Yeah. Number 8, I think they probably should be ranked a little higher, but Miami Hurricanes.
Again, there's so much hatred toward that team.
You can't say that because when you Thugs versus
Catholic versus convict,
Catholic versus convict, that was a good title theme for it. But
the problem is when they're bad, they're not even Miami's team. Nobody shows up.
You're right. It's an empty Dolphin Stadium with fins down for Jake Sorensen.
Right.
So but like I said, Alabama's number 7.
Okay.
Number 6, Ohio State.
They should probably be in the mix.
Now this one right here, whoever made this list, I thought it would have been better than this. Number 5. They wear the ugliest uniforms all the time. Oregon Ducks.
I was going to say Oregon.
Oregon. I mean, I would rather have Nebraska before you put Oregon on there.
Yeah, Lee Corso's had a good connection with that Duck that they've had. I mean, they're kind of like a fun, because they've never won a title and they're out in the pack, Pacific Northwest. I guess you can forget about them sometimes, but they're kind of a fun team for America, I think.
Yeah. Number 4. Michigan Wolverines.
Wow, I thought they might be number 1.
Yeah.
I'm still wondering who they've got at number 1.
We did go number 3, Notre Dame already.
Yeah.
USC's number 2, and drum roll, the Texas Longhorns.
Oh,
now you're gonna put 2 Texas teams.
Most hated team.
I'm not even gonna say it, but 2 Texas team that probably half of the nation don't like. The Cowboys and the Longhorns. So, they rank pretty good.
Yeah, name just didn't come to my mind. If you're thinking about the most hated team, then absolutely. Nebraska's not alone hating Texas. Their arrogance kind of overshadows anybody that runs into them. But I just don't know. I mean, it's a big state. It's tough because there's not a name that immediately comes to your mind for college football, whereas the Dallas Cowboys are the NFL. So regardless, you're going to have some disagreements. But again, I had several different teams come to my mind before Texas.
Well, when you think about the most hated teams, who do you really think of? I mean, some people would probably say, "Oh, Nebraska won so much, I hate them." Penn State back in the days, just because of their uniforms, I hate them. There's a lot of teams we can say who is the who's the most hated team, but we didn't make either list, so hey, good thing for that. And then let's talk about Trey Palmer, man.
Yeah.
Kid is having an excellent camp. They clocked him in at 24 miles per hour. I think the fastest of that was
Tyreek Hill.
Wow.
23.4 or 23.6 miles an hour is the fastest official time in an NFL game ever. And Palmer was at 24 miles an hour.
5th round pick. Hard to imagine. And I wonder, guys, if he really goes off in the NFL, does that change his legacy at Nebraska? Because I think sometimes, if I ask you now, you almost have to make the decision now. Where does he stand as far as best wide receivers at Nebraska ever. He put up magnificent numbers, but again, for a bad team, and they could have been a lot better if Casey Thompson had stayed healthy.
True. And it's only 1 year, though. That's the argument, because we were sitting there, Tom and I were having this argument on Husker Rewind back in November and December last year. And you're like, well, I mean, how do you argue against Irving Fryer? I mean, he was the number 1 overall draft pick in the NFL. How is he not the best receiver to ever play here? And, well, he never had a 1,000-yard season. He never did what Trey Palmer did. So, and
so if he played in this era on one of those teams, I'm sure that'd be fun to watch.
Could you imagine a team with Trey and Irving?
Oh man,
how interesting would that be?
Yeah, it's good for Nebraska to finally get some representation in the league because of that. So I was trying to think between Irving Fryer, early '80s, and Trey Palmer now, what wide receivers have made it. I can think of Quincy Enunwa.
Yeah, Quincy Enunwa. Stanley Morgan is a special teams wizard with the Bengals. But other than that, I mean, Brandon Riley had some, practice squad.
Yeah.
Kenny Bell, some practice squad.
Bobby Newcomb got drafted.
Yeah. but yeah, not a whole long list of NFL caliber receivers.
Niles Paul moved to tight end, so I never know if to count that or not.
Well, still, he was such a good athlete.
Oh, yeah.
Maurice Purifier. He
true.
was pretty good.
Very true.
He was good, just not in the NFL. That's what you wonder too.
Arena guard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was really good there. Who would you guys say in the last? Would you put Trey Palmer over Maurice Purifier? Is a popular name if you say like the last.
If I had to name my top 3, I would go Irvin, Trey, Stanley Morgan.
Yeah,
I would think them are the best 3 receivers that probably ever came out the university right now.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a solid top 3.
Yeah, that's a good group. I probably lean toward Maurice Purifier myself, even though
if you want to go top 5, Bob, we could put.
I'm saying over Stanley Morgan.
You would?
Yeah,
but he was a 1,000-yard receiver first.
Yeah, and I mean the numbers again. You can argue there, and so if you're just doing 1,000 yards, but again, that's why we're not just Irvin Fryer gets in. I mean, you've got different accomplishments there. Maurice went up and won the Big 12 North that 1 year, if you remember, against Texas A&M. And I mean, he was if his career would have, I mean, he had a pretty solid senior season, but the team just imploded around him. That 2017, people forget, and as part of the narrative for kind of, Bill Callahan failing at Nebraska, that 2017 was actually really good, and that was part of the problem. Is there was a lot of talent there, and they were just imploded after losing to USC. That was the big. Yeah. They built everything to competing with USC. They got on the field, showed they weren't near the same quality.
They showed they were Errol Spence.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was. That's the type of beatdown it was.
I got a good story about Maurice Purifier. I caught him on live, like NBA Live, like 2K.
Yeah.
And the highest you can get is I forgot what they call them, but these are the guys who come out the helicopters, the legends, the legends. He was one of them. Like, he was that good. Alfonso Denard too.
In 2K?
Yeah, 2K basketball game. They were legends, guys that that don't miss shots, or they're super. They're the superstars of 2K.
That's interesting.
I never did beat Purifier, but Alfonso Denard kicked his butt a couple of times.
You watched it happen?
Yeah. Oh, I beat him.
Oh,
I beat him. Me and my son and some other guys.
You've beat Alfonso before.
Yeah, and he was a legend.
Yeah.
In 2K. So that's a very big compliment, Bob.
I played him in basketball, Alfonso, and he swatted. He like LeBron swatted my shot off the backboard. It was like, okay. That's a different level of athleticism that I usually play against.
Did you ever hit a 3 on him?
I mean, I don't remember. We played a few times at the downtown Y. I probably did. We weren't necessarily 1-on-1. That was like a fast break. I've just never had anybody do that because normally the guys I play with don't rise up and swat my shot off the backboard.
You mean most guys you play pickup with don't have 40-inch verticals?
That's right. And it was weird because he was playing. Actually, I was surprised to see him because he was playing there. I can't remember. I think he was on the just got signed to the practice squad of the Cardinals or something. I was like, I wouldn't be out here playing because there are guys, if you play in downtown Y, love the downtown Y. It's now gone, but I've seen guys try to make their names off of somebody that comes in, right? Tries to go especially hard after them. And you think, well, okay, ease up there. This guy's got a career to worry about.
When we was in school, we just tell you to come to the inside gym right there, right there on, what's that? What they call it?
Or something?
The rec.
Yeah.
We used to go to the rec, and we'll run we'll run them all day. We take invites. So, but the thing about Trey Palmer is that, I think the sky's the limit for this kid. Gage got hurt. He's done for the year. I think that'll boost him to number 3 or, if he does it, 4. But it gives you 2 deep threats, 2 number 1s, I think, especially counting Mike Williams. His name? Mike Williams on the other side. And
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, yeah. Mike Evans, and then with Trey Palmer, then you got the other guy who's number 2. I mean, Trey can go down the field and get it, though. We've seen that with Purdue game. We've seen it against a lot of teams we played last year.
Well, and Trey's actually been running some with the ones in the practice with the Bucks. That's what's crazy. Because again, 5th round, if he's a first-round draft pick, it makes sense. But, he was a 5th-round draft pick, and he's a guy that you're like, he's fast. So, well, no, but some of the other plays that they've talked about in scrimmages where he adjusts to the ball, going over the middle, running a crossing route, and his football IQ is insane because he can use his speed by going slower as well to outthink and get to a spot where he needs to be that is open in his zone. But that's the one thing that they continue to talk about is not only the speed, but just the way he understands the game, the way he runs routes, the way he adjusts when the ball's already in the air.
Well, and with all that, and hopefully he's continuing to progress his game, might give him a little bit. Hopefully the drops were a little bit of a problem at Nebraska. He had a few big drops, and they always say not for long in the National Football League if that is the case. But if you're beating Sauce Gardner down the field, nobody beat Sauce Gardner last year. He was an All-Pro. He was a Defensive Rookie of the Year. Not just that, but again, first team All-Pro cornerback. That means the best among the best. And so nobody had any success against him. And Trey beat him deep for a 60-yard pass from Kyle Trask, of all people, which that might hold him back a little bit as they got Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask. But we'll see. I mean, there are some people already comparing him to Deshaun Jackson. I think he's just going to be a big-time, down the field threat. One
good thing is that now Mickey Joseph had put 3 great receivers. That's probably in the NFL goes with Justin Jeffries and what's the other one? Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase. I mean, this guy can coach tight ends, Fortunately, things didn't work out last year, but hopefully he'll get somewhere. He'll land him a good job. So, shout out to Mickey Joseph for training these receivers like that.
Another one on the resume.
Yep, another one. Yep. All right. The Ticket, 93.7. We'll be back.
H&H Roofing, established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and by GAF Master Certified Installers and an insurance-preferred contractor that will work directly with your insurance company. Also a leading roofer, siding, and gutter specialist. H&H Roofing will service all residential, commercial, and agricultural needs. Go to HNHroofs.com for more information or call 402-359-2546.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer and the best place in town for sport. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the Shuffleboard Corner. Come on Sundays for Open House League all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Shake off the start to the work week with karaoke on Monday nights. And don't forget, happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Vershawn Jackson for Brant Excavating. Brant's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrantExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brant Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Brand!
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Our lives only have so much time, but if you smoke, you have less. Your life could be 10 years shorter, and the time you do have is often filled with health problems, shortness of breath, asthma, COPD, and cancer. But the minute you quit, your body starts healing.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Captain on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Thanks for joining us. This could be our last show without Vershawn for a little bit at least. He took his vacation. He should be back Monday, so plenty to catch up on with him. The news of the day kind of until Husker practice ends at least, and we'll hear from Coach Tony White, of course, defensive coordinator, and a few select defensive players. We'll see what comes out of practice there. But already this morning, we've seen a few more single-digit numbers going out, which is the new honor, I suppose, in Nebraska football that Matt Rule brings along with him over from Temple. So it's kind of interesting. The numbers now, 3 more numbers handed out. Nick Henrich gets number 3. John Bullock gets number 5. That's a name you're gonna have to look out for.
Yeah, that's the one that when I saw that, I just a little smirk, just one of those. Good for him, man. That just shows the respect. And you hear coaches talk about it all the time. You've heard Matt Rule talk about it, the entire staff. They say, hey, we don't coach guys like, hey, he's a scholarship guy and he was a 5-star and that guy was a walk-on, so we're going to coach him different. We coach everybody to be ready to play. And John Bullock is a prime example of a guy that just simply took the coaching, made the most of it, and it's a pretty big honor. I don't think Nebraska fans as a whole, I know I don't really understand the single-digit tradition and the way Matt Rule does it and how big of a deal it is to him quite yet. I mean, we've heard him talk about it, but I think as the years go by, you'll really pick up on it. Just like the black shirts, Tony White's trying to learn how to understand and get that and talk to all former black shirts and understand the tradition. How do you do it? What's the proper way and all that? I think it's neat and major props. And then Nash, man.
Yeah.
The polar bear.
Nash Hutmacher get a 330-pound man wearing a single-digit number. He gets number 0, which I think that's probably the best number if you're going to give it to a defensive tackle. So only 3 numbers left, number 6, number 8, and number 9 after these were handed out. Kind of interesting if you're still looking for guys that are trying to get their numbers back from last year. Quentin Newsome and Chubba Purdy wore number 6. Deshaun Singleton wore number 9. Of course, number 8 transferred, Logan Smothers. So that's that'll be a new player this year. But Terrell, as we were saying, we know about the single-digit number honors this year. Guys being voted, if you get a single digit, you're known as one of the toughest guys on the team. One of the guys that kind of is everything that should be a Cornhusker football player, as kind of the honor goes along. Nash Hutmacher getting number 0, Nick Henrich getting number 3, and John Bullock getting number 5. Surprise maybe from a former walk-on, John Bullock getting up there. That's a name, again, you're going to have to look out for in the linebacker unit. They told us that before. We saw it in the spring game a little bit. And so, from the get-go, it's not like maybe he'll get some snaps as it progresses. I think he's a name to watch out for right away, especially with this honor.
Sounds good to me. You know how I feel about numbers. You gotta. I'm a advocate of make your own number. I don't care if they gave me 102. I'll make the best out of it. Is it something that Rule wants to do to start a great tradition? I agree with it. It's I don't know. It's just the way I feel about it.
Well, it being a guy that played, I mean, you wore number 43.
Yeah.
And was there a reason behind 43?
No, it was the number they gave me. So
okay.
I just take it and made the best out of it.
Well, but there's a lot of guys, whether it's, my dad wore the number with Jay and Chuck, or whether it's, I had a cousin that whatever, or a grandma, whatever it was, there's guys that wear a number for a reason.
Yeah.
And if, that's to your point of, the tradition I'm not quite sure of. If you get a guy that's worn number 22 for his entire career, now granted, it's not a long career because you've only been playing since, junior high, whatever, but still you've been wearing 22, you get voted to pick a single digit, and now you're going to have to wear number 9.
Mm-hmm.
or 0, 1, 2, whatever. But yeah. I get that where you're like, I want my number, man.
Yeah, it'll be funny to see how the big guy looks in 0.
Yeah,
it'll be odd on the field. I won't say it'll look funny, but it'll be something different.
It will be. I mean, he's the biggest guy on the team, so
yeah, so
that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Well, Jacques Yant wasn't necessarily a small guy, but Nash is like twice his size.
Yeah. It's like a polar bear wearing number 0.
Yep.
So if you're keeping score at home, Nash Hutmacher 0, Billy Kemp 1, Isaac Gifford 2, Nick Henrich 3, Luke Reimer 4, John Bullock 5, Jeff Sims 7. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is year to year, not so much for the players, but for myself, because I'm gonna have to get used to all these guys like Henrich and Reimer and single digit. It's like relearning. Okay, that's what they look like now. That's him. That's him out there. Yeah. So it'll be a bit fun there. And
so that automatics make them starters if that's the case.
No.
Okay, because you know how I feel about the linebackers. You got MJ Sherman. Thought probably he would get a single digit number. So
yeah.
It's still what? How many more out there?
There are 3 left. If MJ Sherman got one, that would be 4 linebackers taking a number. But we'll see. I mean, he might.
Yeah.
But in any case, we'll kind of see how that plays out. Remember, Ethan Piper also voted for a single digit number, but he's a lineman and he can't wear it.
Okay, so Tom Chattel brought this up on our show last Sunday, and I thought it was a very good point. In the case of Ethan Piper, he cannot wear a single digit because he's an offensive lineman. If that happens, why not say, okay, you know what? If you're a lineman and you are one of the 10 that should have gotten a single digit, we're not going to give you a single digit because we can't. We're going to let you wear the greatest lineman in Nebraska football history's number 50, Dave Remington. And that, I mean, to me, that would be an unbelievable honor.
Yeah, I like that.
And Tom Stevens and I were like, that's a great, like, Mr. Chattel, you need to go talk to Coach Rule and let him know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, I also think if a guy like a lineman gets to pick, not necessarily they can't get 0 or a single digit number. I think it would be good for them to pick their own number.
Yeah.
So, hey, whatever number you want, hey, you get first pick at it.
Yeah.
He earned it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of ideas going out there, and one of the reporters suggested a patch, and Matt was like, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. So he's open to suggestions if you guys want to send them his way. It sounds like they're still trying to kind of figure that out if an offensive lineman gets it, but that'll be kind of fun to and that's all I really see it is. Numbers always are just kind of fun. Like you said, some importance for some players here and there. And I'm sure if a guy really said, you know what, coach, I appreciate it, but I'm number 22 because that's what my dad wore, they'd probably follow along and follow suit. So
you'd think.
I don't think you'd force it on him if they really wanted to keep their jersey, but it's supposed to be an honor. And so we'll kind of see how all that plays out. Speaking of kind of, jerseys and fringe things that I suppose these college football teams are doing to stay in the news or make their players happy, because jerseys, numbers, stuff like that, players like that, recruits like that. Colorado has on their practice jerseys. I don't know if you've seen it in the clip that went viral of Deion telling everybody to fight if one guy's going to fight. But they've got their handle, like their Twitter handle or X handle or whatever, Instagram handle on the back of their jerseys. And so a reporter out in Colorado wanted to do some searching, try to see if there's anything more behind it, and asked Deion about it. And Deion's, it's like, you can figure it out. It's just to bring more of a shine on them, but it's just so interesting. That mentality compared to you play for the name on the front of the jersey, not the name on the back. And now, programs are going as far as to be like, well, this we understand you love it's an individual culture or whatever. And so we're going to not just put your name on the back, we're going to put your Twitter handle. And of course that's not going to bleed over to the games, but it's just interesting how that, because that's immediately what I thought of is the old saying. It's you play for the name on the front, not the back.
I don't know. I'd love to get your opinion on this, Terrell, because my thought is, almost everything Deion's done, I just kind of shake my head and go, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me from a team building, from a culture. I don't get it. You played a long time, man.
I do.
What would that culture?
I do want to talk about the fight part, and I don't think he wanted his teammates. Well, I don't think he was talking to the team as fight on the football field as another team. But if offense and defense is going at it, help your guy. Just don't walk off the field. You got a guy on the other side of the ball that's they're getting the best of your guy. So you stay there and you help him. That's just like with if Christian Peters sees Chris Dishman or Aaron Graham taking advantage of me. I expect Christian to come help me out. I expect Jason to come help me out because they're the guys you go to war with every day. We know his teammates, but it does get physical. You do have fights. And back in 95, we had fights. We had physical fights. We had practice stopped a couple of times because we couldn't control ourselves. And that's the nature of football when you practice against each other for so long. And people don't understand that, and they call them all sorts of names. But it's teaching you to stick up for your teammate.
Yeah. We got a few things off the text line I wanted to get to. Giltner says, I got the shivers thinking about making number 50 a special number. Remington is the GOAT. Couple questions, like some Billy Joe Bob, when we're talking about the greatest receivers at Nebraska, throws out Nate Swift. Joe B throws out Kenny Bell. One of the better points, and it's always hard to make this distinction. What about Johnny Rodgers? Would you consider him a wide receiver? He's a wing back. He received the ball plenty. He ran the ball plenty. If they was just a wide receiver, then certainly I think he'd be your top one. He won the Heisman. Yeah, he'd probably be your top wide receiver of all time. But I mean, it's kind of weird because I don't know where you put him, because you don't necessarily rank him among the running backs. Some people wouldn't rank him among the wide receivers, but it's wingback. It was kind of its own designated position at Nebraska.
Well, and that's what Irving Fryer was too, though. So,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I think it's just old guy mind forgot Johnny Rodgers for some reason earlier.
Yeah,
that would be my excuse. So
okay,
but yeah, I think he belongs on the list and very high on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but it's I do see that more than just just you kind of forgetting it or omitting it is kind of an argument there. As he kind of played a different position, but you're right. I mean, Irvin Fryer did.
Yeah,
maybe it's just he's drafted number 1 and all that. You just kind of he's wide receiver then, but I'm not really sure why that happens. But yeah, absolutely. If you include Johnny Rodgers, then your 3 gets a little smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd have to change it around a little bit. All right, let's take a quick break here on 93.7 The Ticket. This is the captain. Rashawn Jackson once again out. We've have Mike Melby in from Husker Rewind and Finish Line. We'll talk a little bit about that, cross-promote that as we move on, as well as the All-American and national champ himself, Terrell Farley. I'm Jake Bachman. We'll be back after this.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for only $24.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel Fit's active. Only $24.99 a month. Our most popular membership, the PF Black Card, is your ticket to getting all the perks. Join today. See Club for details.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, and they've scouted out the best Kawasaki side-by-side deals for you. Score up to $2,500 off the 2023 Kawasaki Teryx and up to $1,000 off Mule Pro FX and FXCs. Whether you want to handle the toughest task in a trusted, tried and true mule or looking to dominate adventure in a Teryx, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of Kawasaki side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down. Offer out 9/30/2023. Subject to change without notice. Offer available on approved purchases of select new unregistered Kawasaki vehicles. Model and year exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with retail financing rates.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's efforts. It's the entire dealership, sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. This is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Vershawn Jackson for Brant Excavating. Brant's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrantExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brant Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Brand!
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast today, sunny, windy, and hot. See an afternoon high of around 91. Tonight, see mostly clear skies, a light breeze, and warm lows. See a low around 73. And tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine, but very hot weather expected tomorrow. Make sure you drink lots of fluids. See a high of around 103. Meteorologist Kyle Cook from 92.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back with Vershawn Jackson. Powered by Bauer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Captain on 93.7. The Ticket Trail's getting some business done in the hallways. So it's just myself and Mike Melby for right now. But always happy to be joined by Mike Melby. Real quick, let's plug your show on the weekends for those that don't know.
Well, 5 to 7 every Sunday, Tom Stevens and I do Husker Rewind. We started it back in, I want to say, the second or third week of May in 2022, and hammer out about every Sunday. And we talk all everything. I mean, we touch on some national stuff, but it's mainly just focusing on Husker sports. And the guests we have are phenomenal. We had Tom Chattel last week. First time we had an opportunity to have him on. We always we'll still get Dirk Chatelain on every once in a while, even though he's not working for the World Herald anymore. We do this week. I'm super excited. We've already got set up. First time we'll have her on. Amy Just, from the Journal Star is going to come on, and we're going to talk to her at 5:25. But Jay Foreman comes on every once in a while, and just the normal, guests that we have. But it's interesting because you get on football weekends that time to digest what happened. And I think, Tom, I heard him yesterday as he was talking about, like, immediately after games, he just wants to fire everybody.
Right.
And I was laughing. Tracy and I were driving to Omaha, and I said, well, the funny thing is that's after the games is what he's doing. But during the game, while it's all going sideways, he's texting me he wants to fire everybody. So it is. It's just kind of nice to have that day to decompress a little bit, see exactly, what the coaches said and how things, what's their feel. I mean, maybe it was a loss that we were like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe we lost. And you turn around and hear some things that happened in the game that you didn't know as a fan until after the fact. And you're able to have a more educated opinion.
To be fair, the last 8 years, if you would have said fire them,
well, true.
It turned out, that's what was going to happen.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and then 7 to 8 on Sundays, we started a show back in May of this year called The Finish Line. Rebecca Pearson and I jump on and we talk to racers. We try to shine a spotlight on local racers, national racers, and we don't really care what kind of car. We kind of are starting to focus a little bit more on dirt track just because you've got Eagle Raceway, 10 miles east on O Street. Fantastic place, America's home track. I spent 10 years out there announcing, of course, And then we're tied in with Mike Boston and his number 51 car. That's not going to be 51 next year. I think it's going to be 93.7.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. They will going to have that. But the finish line this week, we actually have got national midget driver Jade Avedizian. She's a 16-year-old that is kind of showing the boys how it's done in the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series that tours around the country. She is currently second in points, 8 points back. She was leading points up until a big five straight nights of racing, and she had a night that went sideways when she was in the lead, hit heavy cushion and flipped the car. And at any rate, she super talented young lady. We'll see her in all kinds of forms of racing moving forward, but she's going to be on this week. And then the 27th, we've got Cole Newhalfen. Cole is a former iRacing wizard. And Cole, just his love of sprint cars, he started kind of working on them locally. Joey Danley is one of his the guys that he works on. He's the crew chief for Joey. Joey won the track title at Eagle Raceway a couple years ago. And then Cole made a name for himself, offered his help to a national crew, and ultimately now Carson Macedo, who's currently third in points in the World of Outlaws, anytime Macedo is at a big race, i.e. the Knoxville Nationals last weekend, the Jackson Nationals up in Jackson, Minnesota this weekend, the Eldora Million, they fly him in, or if it's close enough, he drives, and he wrenches on a World of Outlaw car. And Cole's going to have some stories, and we're going to have a great time with him on the 27th. And then on September 3rd, you've had remotes at racetracks and remotes at car washes and remotes at restaurants. We're going to do basically just live broadcasting from about 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock at Eagle Raceway, the night of their championship night. They do a 4-day Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 31st, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of September, 31st of August. It's the Race Saber Nationals, and we're going to broadcast live that Sunday. We're going to start about 4 o'clock. We're going to bring in some drivers, some crew guys, some track people. And then from 5 to 7, Tom, we're going to do our show. Tom and I are going to sit there, do Husker Rewind from out at the track. And then 7 to 8 is going to be the finish line. And we're going to run through more drivers. And they're going to be racing at that time, but it's going to be a full-blown night out at Eagle Raceway with the 93.7 the ticket. It's going to be a blast.
Well, yeah, that is something to look forward to. And I've noticed too a few of your guests, the age that when you bring them in. What is the youngest age that you'll see somebody race out at Eagle Raceway?
I believe they need to be 16.
I would think so, or the driver's license, right?
Although I know that's not accurate, because Trey Gropp a few years ago, his grandfather Rick raced IMC modifieds. Oh my gosh, for almost 30 years or maybe even more. Rick's one of the greatest people you'll ever want to meet, just human being wise, let alone great race car driver. But Trey jumped in. I think he was 15 the first summer that he raced, maybe even 14, and I think it's actually 14. But yeah, there's some talented young drivers, not only locally, obviously nationally as well. But some of the younger ones. Bree Fansteel, she runs a sport mod. She was in a couple of weeks ago. She's I think mid-20s, but still started racing, I think, when she was a teenager, when she was 16. And, I think her dad gave her the option. Do you want to have like a really cool, street car, or do you want a race car? And she's like, duh, give me a race car. So she said, she goes, you can speed in that one and not get a ticket. So I'm going to roll with that. So, but
the right mindset, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, and that's part of the reason we wanted to do the show. I mean, I've loved racing forever, and it's a tight family, and being able to shine a spotlight on it for those that do the hard work and the behind the scenes stuff. So we're going to be talking to some of the people that maybe do the cleanup crew, track prep, the people that run the parts trailer. I want to get all of them on the air, give them 5 minutes to sit there, tell us their story, because racing is a passion for so many people, and so much goes into it. And to be able to pat them on the back and give them a little bit of a spotlight, I think is pretty important, and happy to be able to do it. Yeah,
that'll be cool. I can't wait for that. And I know, and that is good. Get everybody involved. Kind of see it out there. If you haven't been out to Eagle Raceway, like you said, is America's dirt tracks,
America's home track.
I like that. If you haven't been out there, it is a blast. So, you got to make your way out there, and perfect time would be when the ticket's out there. So,
well, yeah, it's going to be a blast that weekend. They're racing tomorrow. I think they moved times back just because of the heat.
Oh, yeah.
So they're not going to start till 7 when they normally start at 6:30, and maybe a little bit later. It's going to be, it's going to be nasty tomorrow. But yeah, so that big race though coming up August 31st, and then September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. They'll have, I think they pre-registered. Last I heard, they had 98 cars. They'll probably wind up with about 105 that show up, and they're the best 305 sprint car drivers in America and around the world. Some will come in from that are from Canada, I know for sure, and I think there may be one or two that are from Australia. But it's a massive show, and they do a great job. And it's one of the coolest things. They start 27 cars for the A feature on championship night, and they start them 9 rows, 3 wide. And if you've ever seen open wheel racing, 3 wide is not exactly something you want to do a whole lot because there's not a ton of room on the track.
Yeah.
But I love that start, and the drivers, I mean, this is obviously the best in the land. And so you normally don't see too many wrecks coming out of that when they go into turn 1 and stuff at the start of the race, but it's a really neat way to start a race, and super excited to be able to be out there for it.
Yeah, it's been an awesome addition to the ticket. We're going to see the finish line, I think, continue to grow, and the partnership there. So again, Mike Melby doing great things on Sunday along with Tom Stevens and Rebecca. All right, let's take a break here. We'll welcome Terrell back in the studio if he's done with his business. I didn't really
he's talking
catch
to
up
Ricky,
I don't
man.
know what he's doing. Oh, he's talking to Ricky Simmons. We'll see if we get him. Yeah, and Ricky's a good guy. All right, we'll take a quick break here on the Captain and be right back after this.
H&H Roofing, established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and bonded, GAF Master Certified Installers, and an insurance-preferred contractor that will work directly with your insurance company. Also a leading roofer, siding, and gutter specialist. H&H Roofing will service all residential, commercial, and agricultural needs. Go to HNHroofs.com for more information or call 402-359-2546.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM First, 93.7 The Ticket.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings. It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, and they've scouted out the best Kawasaki side-by-side deals for you. Score up to $2,500 off the 2023 Kawasaki Teryx and up to $1,000 off Mule Pro FX and FXCs. Whether you want to handle the toughest task in a trusted, tried and true mule, or looking to dominate adventure in a Teryx, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of Kawasaki side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down. Offer valid through 9/30/2023. Subject to change without notice. Offer available on approved purchases of select new unregistered Kawasaki vehicles. Model and year exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with promotional retail financing rates.
Are you ready to upgrade your combine? Don't wait. Act now to choose from the widest selection of used combines at Acres Equipment. Acres, Nebraska's leading John Deere combine dealer, is offering 2.9% interest for 60 months on over 100 pre-owned combines. Each combine includes our A-plus uptime program to keep you running flawlessly throughout harvest season. Go to acres.com to view a huge inventory of low-hour, late-model equipment. Find what you like, and we'll deliver to your farm for free. Acres, solutions for every field.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brandt.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast today, sunny, windy, and hot. See an afternoon high of around 91. Tonight, see mostly clear skies, a light breeze, and warm lows. We're over on 73. Tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine, but very hot weather expected tomorrow. Make sure you drink lots of fluids. The high around 103. Meteorologist Kyle Cook from 92.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
The Lincoln Chamber of Commerce, Nebraska National Guard, 55th Wing, and the Lincoln Airport Authority presents the Guardians of Freedom Air Show, featuring the U.S. Navy Blue Angels, the F-16 Viper demo team, F-35, and the Air Force Wings of Blue. Experience a spectacle that your family will remember forever. The Guardians of Freedom Air Show, Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th at Lincoln Air Park. Parking and admission are free. Learn more at LincolnAirShow.com. When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club, or space club, and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margarita, like Maui Wow, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab through and head on over Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Nick is here. What'd you call him earlier?
Yeah, he got a name. He said a name.
Can you hear Nick?
I said you look like a big swimming pool. You look like a big swimming pool over there. I called you Big Swim.
Big Swim.
All right. Should I tell the people what you called me the second week that I ever coached you?
Don't hang that over my head.
Track record here.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain.
Three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Touchdown. Vershawn Jackson, number 34, gets the touchdown. Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bakovic.
I've talked to a few cats. They said that Bog got some game, man.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson.
Yeah. It's Friday. It's getting hot out.
It is.
It's about time those guys see this 103, 101.
Yeah.
You need that when football comes because it's good weather. You know, you got to cramp up. You got to go ahead and get it out the way now.
Yeah. So you wouldn't take them into the Hawks. You'd practice outside.
Practice outside.
Yeah.
For what? Yeah. You got to take these hot days.
You got to get used to it.
You got to get used to it because this Nebraska is the flatlands. And when you go to Colorado, you don't know the weather, where it's going to be. You don't know what it's going to be in Minnesota. So, hey, do what you got to do to get them ready.
Yeah, and like we said, we might hear from Coach White before the end of the show. Certainly we will before the end of the day, so you can stay tuned to 93.7 The Ticket if we don't get to it. Kind of the latest news coming out of camp. As we mentioned earlier today, kind of the biggest news from this morning is a few more single-digit numbers handed out. Nesh Hopmucker getting number 0, Nick Henrich getting number 3, and John Bullock getting number 5. Once again, if you aren't familiar with the name John Bullock, he is a former walk-on now. Getting a scholarship, and it's going to be in the mix at linebacker this year. So it is a name to get to know. I did see one thing I wanted to ask you guys, and I've talked about it before, but I just wanted to get at least Mike's opinion and Terrell's as well here. So USA Today had a article basically with all the conference realignment, focusing on how it's been difficult for teams to switch conferences. Harvey Perlman, I think, was quoted in this article, and was so Nebraska was kind of the feature, kind of part of it, because Nebraska has really struggled since moving to the Big Ten. A few different ways to go here, but I guess first and foremost, I'll ask you guys, do you think it is the Big Ten that's roughing up Nebraska, or do you think it's been mostly a Nebraska problem, just dealing with themselves?
Well, I think Nebraska hasn't been ready for the Big Ten since they moved into it. Different kind of football from the Big 12. More physical than the Big 12, I think, with the offensive linemen. More bigger defensive linemen, more like the Aaron Donald type defensive linemen that, that big and powerful. Nebraska, we still getting the tweener guys at linebackers, especially at defensive line. So, I think it's more us having adapted to the Big Ten, though.
I was going to say, I would completely agree. It's when the move to the Big Ten happened, Bo Pelini was not happy. He had built a team to dominate the Big 12, and they did not have the horses. Now, had he known, had he had time to plan 2 or 3 years to where he could have changed his recruiting, maybe he would have had better success, but it didn't happen. And then you just bottom line had the wrong guy that should have never been hired in Mike Riley. And, a guy, to your point of, bigger and tougher than the AAC, a guy who thought his high-flying offense from the AAC could come in and just, make the Big Ten change. We all remember that comment. They're going to have to change for us. No, you're not. I think it's more Nebraska self-inflicted and just, plans that did not work out. I'm not going to say they were poor plans. They were just plans that somebody had. They thought they were going to work. They didn't.
Yeah. And I think Scott Frost and Mike Riley, you kind of knew that with Scott Frost coming in. And that was one of the things I was a little bit worried about is he's not necessarily going to play Big Ten ball. And you weren't doing that with Mike Riley. So it was kind of like, all right, you're doubling down on this. But it was the hope that he could kind of overcome that. And that's kind of where I want to go next is, sometimes a coach and his philosophy can supersede and he could just be the next coming of whoever it is, Lincoln Riley. When we're seeing young coaches step up and kind of take over regardless of where they're at and have success, but for a lot of programs, I would like to think that you would want to hire with a certain style of football in mind. And I think that this whatever the problems may have been, and it has been for Nebraska since joining the Big Ten, I think that Matt Rule, what I'm excited about is I think Matt Rule is a Big Ten hire. I think that he's focusing on playing Big Ten football rather than some crazy zany offense that he can bring in that's going to be able to outdo it. But the only interesting part going from there is the Big Ten's changing. That's what makes it kind of fascinating is if Nebraska, as we move forward and this conference expands, and maybe you have to kind of go back to the pod idea. If Nebraska gets put in a pod with Wisconsin, I know they're changing a little bit. We'll see how long that lasts. Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota. That's completely different than, as far as style of football, than being put in a pod with USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington. So it's really interesting to kind of see where this goes because the style of Big Ten football might change. But my argument is the style in the Midwest will not. What works in the Midwest generally, and you can have different arguments about weather and all that. But to me, part of it's just your recruiting base and just people growing up here. I think the physical nature, I think you have to start there. And then you can add the elements of speed. And Nebraska is doing that. They're recruiting some really high-end speed to try to keep up with those guys. But I think you've got to start with that in my mind, the old big school, Big Ten blueprint, but what was the Tom Osborne blueprint, which is a team built around physicality and toughness.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Those 4 teams you named, they don't play defense. That's the thing about USC, Washington, UCLA. They don't have great defenses. So we can match them point for point because we're going to go down the field just like they're going to go down the field. But the thing about this is, will they adapt to the Big Ten?
But that's the problem, is trying to outscore USC. And that's kind of the Mike Riley, that's the Scott Frost idea. Let's go out there and score 55 points and win a shootout. I don't think year after year you're going to do that. You're just not going to get the athletes USC is going to get.
Well, you play ball control. You control the line of scrimmage. You control the clock. You try to get at least a couple of stops on defense that'll help you in the long run, so you can probably get up 10, 15 points. So, it's a lot. But my question is, does the 3-3-5 work in the Big Ten? We're going to find out. I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. So we're going to find out, though.
That's the one caveat. Everything I hear from players and coaches, the 3-3-5, I think you would have had a blast in a 3-3-5.
Well, I had a blast in the 4-3.
You would have had a blast no matter what.
Yeah, you can throw them in any defense.
Yeah,
see, that's
but the freedom to go make plays and the enthusiasm that the players are talking about it, and the way that they can attack and all the different looks that they can give, I think is going to be beneficial. A couple of years down the road, the element of surprise and what they do is going to be similar. So, schools will have seen it and maybe they can adapt if they need to. But that's kind of the big question mark defensively is, will that work in the Big Ten when you've got Michigan and 350-pound guys, 5 of them coming off the ball and running back with 4.4 speed that is going to be a first-round NFL draft. I mean, can you stop that?
Yeah.
And the one key stat that Matt Rule said that they have as a goal, and I would love to know your opinion on it from a defensive standpoint. He wants to run the ball, get 75 yards of rushing in the fourth quarter. He says, if we can do that, I think we're going to be in good shape. From a defensive standpoint, if you're on a defense and you've got the opposition, and it's not just one big long run that's just hammering you 75 yards, is that kind of, do you know you're done?
Well, I haven't never been in that situation, but from playing Madden or something like that. I mean, yeah, as a defense, you want to control the fourth quarter. If you got a team that's going to run it every single play and you can't stop it, there's nothing you can do. I mean, you can get them in the third and short situation, but can you bend but don't break mode? That's the thing about trying to do a 75-yard drive in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's a good thing for Nebraska, but we had a lot of coaches come in and talk that talk. I want to see you walk the walk now. We have a lot of people that say, oh, like Scott Frost said, oh, they got to get used to us. I mean, first of all, we got to see, can we get the running game started? First of all, we got to see, can Jeff Sims help us on passing downs? We got to see if the linemen's going to really hold up this year. That's the main question, though.
Well, and I think that too, that's going to be interesting, kind of the balance between trying to win the game and trying to set the culture, because a running game is not something you can just, oh yeah, we're going to be a running team now and flip the switch and start doing. Maybe they've made a lot of strides this offseason with the offensive line, and hopefully we see it get it better as the year goes on. But again, it's one thing to say I want to be the most physical team. It's another thing to do it. I mean, when Nebraska was that team, they had some of the best offensive linemen across the country. And so, I mean, right now, what we've seen in the past 10 years, they're nowhere close. I mean, you've had a few guys like Cam Jurgens and whatnot that could have an argument. But as far as the offensive line as a whole, I think it will take a lot of patience there. And then to your kind of question about the 3-3-5, again, to me, the one thing that kind of stands out is that three-man front. I'm going to be so interested to see how often they do go into a 3-man front. Maybe if it's on an obvious passing down, but even to me, then you're not going to get home with 3. And so some coaches like to do that, but I don't think that that's going to work too well. And again, with the terminology and stuff, it doesn't necessarily mean they're always going to have 3. That's kind of the idea, is the surprise, the element, who's going to be kind of the fourth guy that's up there on the line, or who's blitzing and all that. So I understand that, but I will keep a close eye on how many times they actually have a 3-man front, because that sounds like a disaster.
Yeah. Can you take a blueprint from Georgia to see how TCU tried to run the 3-3-5 on them, and that didn't work? So now you're in the Big Ten, where you go against Michigan, and they come out in a three tight end set. Then they go heavy on one side. What do the 3-3-5 does against that? I don't know. We don't know. We just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the keys you're talking specifically the 3-down lineman, who's going to be that one guy that's going to be the fourth on the rush. I think MJ Sherman is kind of the wild card of the whole thing. That young man has got like next level ability, and plus, just when you listen to him speak, his love for the game and love for what is going on here is exceptional. And I think he's going to be a blast to watch this year. He's a single-digit number guy, I think. You would think he would be, based on just everything you've seen and heard out of practice. But I think he's going to be kind of the wild card on that 3-3-5 up front, that coming off of left side, right side, who knows where he's going to be coming from. But you've also got a ton of linebackers that can make plays too. So
yeah, I think that he's more often than not going to be the one they rely on to kind of be that fourth guy. But again, with the element of the surprise, sometimes it'll be Henrich or Bullock or Reimer. So we'll kind of see how that kind of plays out. Also interesting to note today, 24/7 Sports did their preseason true freshman All-American team. They had a combination pick at defensive end with Cameron Linhart and Princewell Umanwalen. They decided, and that was the only combination pick, but it kind of lets you know a few different things. Is that one, Nebraska is likely going to have to play these young guys and likely going to have to use you'll likely see both of them out there. But the other thing is that they believe that they have one of them, with enough playing time will have the talent to do it. So I think part of it's kind of the playing time. That's why they're getting thrown in there. But we've heard good things about both of them, and I particularly think Uman Moylan could be kind of your specialist as far as a pass rush. And so, I think a good goal, for some reason, I always kind of think back to like Barry Turner getting 5 sacks as a freshman, but something like that, if you can get a handful of sacks, as a pass rush specialist, if that's what your focus is your freshman year, then that could be incredible. And that's where I always think back to Tony White when they asked him about like who's the best at getting to the rusher, and he mentioned I think MJ Sherman and Prince William, but it was all new guys outside of Jabari Butler. It's like 5 guys he named, and it was all new guys. So I think for the pass rush, they're going to be heavily reliant on some guys that we haven't seen play for Nebraska quite yet.
I think Riley Van Poppel is going to be another one that may get more than 4 games this year as a true freshman. He's somebody else that you just kind of hear his name every once in a while.
Yeah.
One of those, unsolicited, nobody says, hey, how's he doing? But they bring up, oh, by the way, he's been another guy that's done some good things.
Well, and Kai Wallen's also interesting.
Yeah.
He's the one guy that went to the JUCO portal with, so looking for immediate help there. Haven't heard too much about him, but you figure that a veteran player, they bring him in, they expect him to be able to play right away. So that'll be interesting. And I don't know. I mean, the defense, I still the defensive line was like one of my biggest concerns. Then once I watched the spring game, and you can always be tricked by a spring game, but I was pretty impressed with a lot of different guys, like Roquan Buckley, a lot of guys stepping up.
Don't let that spring game fool you.
Yeah, that's what. So I mean, the concern's definitely there, but it made me feel a little bit better.
Spring game against our offensive line, they will look like superstars. But my question is, haven't heard too much about Elijah Judy, Chief Borders. Been kind of quiet camp for them too, so hopefully they can get into that rotation and help, because I know with Judy being a 4-star, 5-star guy coming from Texas A&M, that you would think you would hear a lot from him. Been kind of quiet on his side the whole camp.
Yeah, you have heard Chief Borders' name mentioned a couple of times, but not as often as others. I don't know, man. We're now 13 days away from kicking off, and I don't know that I've anticipated a home or a season opener any more than this in a long time. Obviously the first year with Frost, you were kind of excited about it and whatever, but
that was sure a dud once it got rained out.
Yeah, exactly. I was sitting there. It was funny. I think we were the only ones that had ponchos that were not wearing red ponchos. Ours were orange.
Oh yeah,
because we got them at like Vala's or something, and they were Halloween ones. They were the only ones we had, but we sat there until they made us leave.
Yeah.
But that was an interesting, and the biggest cheer of that entire non-game was when Ndamukong Suh walked across the field to get out of the rain.
Oh, was he?
Yep.
That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, I think there is a big anticipation for it. Is part of it. I just want to get your thoughts on this, because there are a lot of different feelings. You feel one way or the other. Do you dislike PJ Fleck?
I respect what he's done. I really, truly do. I don't get the antics. I'm not a big fan of the antics, but from as far as being a coach, I think he's an excellent coach, and he gets the absolute best out of his players, and total props and respect to him and what he does. He does it in a way that's kind of unconventional. It's not a way that I would like, but you know what? He gets it done, and he's delivered the goods with a lot of wins.
Yeah, and it makes for a difficult matchup starting out of the gate, and I think that's one of the things that makes it so interesting, and why we're looking forward to this is because it's kind of two thoughts there. Is that one, Minnesota, though they the term, I guess, a movable object, they actually they do kind of fit that description pretty well, but they're not as far as such a daunting opponent. Nebraska was within 1 score of them last year. Of course, there was within 1 score of just about everybody the last couple of years, but Minnesota being one of those teams. But if you do beat them, and they're a 9-win team last year, that just changes the outlook of the entire season. And that's why, I know a lot of people want to predict Nebraska to win. I think Minnesota's favored by 7.5 or something like that. And I expect a good game one way or the other, but if they can beat Minnesota, all of a sudden, and the Big Ten West is somewhat wide open this year. I mean, all of a sudden after one game, you focus on that. If they lose that game, you got a chance for, to get back in the good graces of all Husker Nation by going out and beating Colorado. So kind of a good situation, as long as they don't start 0-2.
I don't think that happens. I don't believe in what Deion's doing. I think that that's going to be rough for them to get more than 3 wins this year.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to come against Nebraska.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of Deion's coaching, but I'm a fan as a player.
Same.
Now, he has a lot of talent over there. You know, I don't think it's enough for them to mesh together this quick and become a team or a unit. You know, it's just when you got guys that not been in the program for 3 or 4 years, and you know, just this is a put together team. You know, they're gonna have their shouting matches. They're gonna have their fights on defense. You know, somebody's not gonna get the call right, and it's, you know, then you go to pointing fingers. So, you know, he has to keep them calm and take control of his ship quick, because, you know, like I said, they play TCU first, which is their what's that?
I don't know what the
27.
Is it that bad?
It might be 21. Who knows? But you know, the thing is, we can't afford to go up there and lose to Colorado.
No,
we can't. Not with a put together team this fast. So, you know, that it don't look good for Nebraska if it does happen. But, you know, we never know what happens against Minnesota, because, like I say, Minnesota is probably beatable. I know they will probably go look at film on Syracuse defense last year, but offensive wise, they don't have a clue. They don't have a clue what we're going to do. So I give Nebraska a 2-quarter advantage over that, because it takes 2 quarters probably to get adjusted to what they're doing. And if you keep throwing them off balance with different stuff they never seen before, then that'll help us down the road.
Well, here's the thing too about that is if Nebraska wants to get back to the power football model, which I think is what they're doing, it won't be as much of an element of surprise. And the other thing is that Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, you know, all these teams, Illinois now with Brett Bielema, they've all practiced against that. I mean, that's so, like, if you're going back to that model, you're actually a little bit behind the other teams in your own division at trying to do the same thing. And so, again, I think it might be a little bit of a rocky year, and it's year one. We've seen the struggles under Matt Rule in year one, and I just want people to be prepared for that, and not get frustrated and here we go again. This is just like Callahan or something like that. This is going to take some patience in my mind to build and not expect immediate results out of it. But you never know. There is the chance that they could, you know, just, you know, hit the ground running and you know, get a lot of wins. The hope in that, I think a lot of that is that, you know, this team has. I don't know where this team is talent-wise. Maybe we could talk about that in the next segment, is kind of what did Matt Rule inherit? What did he put together? But this is a team that hasn't made a bowl since 2016. But for the most part in those years, I think it was poor coaching that held them back from getting a bowl, not necessarily roster talent. But at this point, 7 years deep, I don't know. I have a tough time reading the roster talent of this team that he's inheriting.
Well, that's a great point. Yeah, we don't know how good these guys are. We know they had 4 stars, several of them, that when they got here, but they haven't produced like 4 stars. But maybe that changes.
Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see.
I just know that was a common comment, and I thought the same thing. It's like, yeah, this team. Like every year, I'd go into it thinking, yeah, this team has the roster talent to make a bowl game. They should make a bowl game. This year, I don't know. It's tough to tell. It's just because there's a lot of new faces, and it's just been a long time. You don't have necessarily a whole lot of guys that you're going, well, that's an All-American, or that's certainly not an All-American, but that's an All-Conference guy. So it's a tough right now. All right, we'll take a quick break here on the Captain. We'll talk more leading up to the game, less than 2 weeks away from taking down that boat out in Minneapolis. We'll do that coming up next year on 93.7.
Crazy. Crazy.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V.
Is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store, now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E6 contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come with both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Power brand, who reminds you, go big Brandt.
Ready to upgrade your combine with new technology to make your harvests more efficient, meaning more money in your pocket? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine for harvest. Plus, when you purchase a pre-owned combine from Landmark, you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network, along with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running, reducing downtime. View inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's specials through August 22nd are $2 off 12-ounce grass-finished ribeyes with limit of 2 per visit. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Walters Painting Incorporated salutes our Vietnam veterans this summer season. Our Vietnam veterans fought in a difficult, complex war. Please offer the long overdue respect they deserve. The staff at Walters Painting Incorporated is your interior, exterior, commercial, and residential paint. He doesn't cut corners, he paints them. To book an estimate, visit walterspainting.com or call 402-730-1781. The staff at Walters Painting Incorporated honor our Vietnam veterans.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margarita like Maui Wow, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
There's a buzz in the air at Kansas as drivers fight to move on to the next round of the playoffs. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Are you ready to upgrade your combine? Don't wait. Act now to choose from the widest selection of used combines at Acres Equipment. Acres, Nebraska's leading John Deere combine dealer, is offering 2.9% interest for 60 months on over 100 pre-owned combines. Each combine includes our A-plus uptime program to keep you running flawlessly throughout harvest season. Go to acres.com to view a huge inventory of low-hour, late-model equipment. Find what you like, and we'll deliver it to your farm for free. Acres, solutions for every field.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast today, sunny, windy, and hot. See an afternoon high of around 91. Tonight, see mostly clear skies, a light breeze, and warm lows. We'll go around 73. And tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine, but very hot weather expected tomorrow. Make sure to drink lots of fluid. See a high of around 103. Meteorologist Kyle Cook from 92.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
All right.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You play all that talking music, man. We know the captain's coming back. All right, y'all. Welcome back to The Ticket. 93.7 on the black shirt. Terrell Farley, and I'm with
Buck.
And I'm with
Mike.
Yeah, he got it. First day. That's good.
Yeah.
Waiting on the captain to
Hey,
get back.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
In the intro to this show, one of the lines is in his first start last week, Terrell Farley did amazing things. What are your memories of finding out that you're going to start a game for Nebraska? When did you find out? What are your memories of that time frame, the couple of days before that game?
I think we played Missouri the week before, and I played okay, but I had a block in the end zone for safety. Got a phone call that, some phone calls that people don't like. Hey, secretary call, hey, coach want to see you in his office. But it wasn't from Coach Osborne. It was Coach Bowl and Coach McBride. I thought I did something wrong in the game, and they kind of wanted to get on me before practice. But when I walked in there, they asked me to have a seat, and they sit down and said, you earned your black shirt, and you're going to start this week. He said, just the faster we can give it to you, we can take it away from you. And that's something that stuck in my head the whole season. I wasn't really nervous yet until the game time, but I earned it, and I thought I earned it earlier, but they make you wait back in the day, so because you just don't want to be given something. But I took the opportunity and ran with it. Getting a black shirt is one of the biggest accomplishments I think for a defensive player to get, besides probably making out conference or scoring a winning touchdown. But it's a feeling that never goes away. It probably will stick with me for the rest of my life.
That's interesting. And I love the story behind, I got a phone call. You're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want them phone calls because sometimes it could be good, sometimes it can be bad, especially if Coach Osborne, Mary Ann, she used to call her, oh, Coach Osborne want to see you in his office ASAP. So, you don't, when you think about it, you're like, oh man, what's going on? So
you're running through your head.
You
what class did I skip a class? What time did I get in last night?
Well, I stayed off campus, so I didn't have to really worry about staying on campus. Classwork, yeah, that could have been it because, we had people checking classes, and, once they check them, I probably walk out. So, somebody probably see me in the student union at the game room or something, or just chilling. So, it's a lot of things like that.
So what was your game in 1997, 96, 95?
95, my first game started was Kansas State.
Well, no, what was your game? You said you were in the game room at the Union. What game were you playing?
Well, they only had Tekken in there. So it was Tekken in there. Nice. But when we went off campus, we would play track and field, the old track and field. We would use the pin tops. We'd take a pin top and hit A and B real fast. Yeah. And some of us would run about a 7,600. So, it was, and then we got on to with the, when they had the little pad with the track and field.
Oh, yeah.
We used to get on our knees and, just hit them with our hands and stuff. But it would be like 10 of us over there. And we was really some Crash Bandicoot playing guys. We loved that because we would do it with the 8 joysticks or 4 joysticks. Of, we would have like 8 people in the game. So, it was the old days was fun.
Yeah.
Just glad we didn't have cell phones back then.
Yeah, that's right. Although we did catch, we've talked about this before, your rap with Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
That got caught on video.
Oh, yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good for Husker Nation. Just a report here from Ian Rappaport. The Ravens are signing Jadeveon Clowney to a 1-year deal. Kind of surprising to see some of the guys that are still out there in free agency. 3-time Pro Bowler, I think at this point, 30 years old, a situational pass rusher type of situation there. But it's kind of interesting. He came in the same draft as Reggie Bush and probably had a better career than Reggie Bush, I would say. Like I said, 3-time Pro Bowler, but he was never going to live up to the hype. I mean, the guy's, that's a successful career. I don't care how you measure it. But being the number 1 pick and all that, would you say that's a successful career? I mean, he's probably not a Hall of Famer, but for what we thought of him coming into the NFL was like, this is a can't miss generational project. prospect.
It seems like it was unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
And you're never going to live up to unrealistic expectations. But I mean, he was the number one player out of high school too.
Yeah.
And everybody was stunned that he went to South Carolina. But he was I always thought he was really good, but not great at South Carolina. And I again, it was always potential. It was always these super high expectations for him. But I wouldn't say it was necessarily a bad career. It was a very solid, definitely not a Hall of Fame career. What about you, Charles?
Yeah, I think after watching the South Carolina Michigan game when he made that hit with the at the last moment of the game, the get a turnover. That probably solidified his number one draft pick status, but he just haven't lived up to that hype. He's anybody. I'm not gonna say anybody can make 3 Pro Bowls, but 3 Pro Bowls won't get you a first ballot Hall of Fame or even a Hall of Fame. I mean, he had a stellar career. Something probably the last couple of years not been as great as he thought they would be, but he's made it 10 years probably, and then that's a good thing for him in the long run.
Yeah, another guy that I noticed is still a free agent. We'll see if he gets picked up. Is Carson Wentz, also 30 years old. A little bit of a different. It's kind of weird that they're the same age because it came out of the different time period in my head, I suppose. I think it was like a few different years in the draft. But another guy that second team All Pro in 2017 just hasn't probably gotten back to where he was pre-injury. But his former stop too, Washington Redskins. The Commanders named. Football team. No, they're the Commanders. They named Sam Howell as their starter, former 5th-round pick out of North Carolina, who backed up Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke last year. So Eric Bieniemy, of course, there with the Commanders. Going with the young guy. He was battling it out with Jacoby Brissett, and at one time, like leading into his senior or junior year, I believe, at North Carolina, I think he came out early. He was supposed to be the top prospect in the draft. His year didn't go as well, so that's why he slid down to 5th. But maybe that. Like we're saying with Trey Palmer, you can find a diamond in the rough there.
Oh yeah. How old is Jacoby Brissett? He's been in the league since like 1971, right?
I can look it up. Apparently, everybody I'm looking up is 30 years old, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's 30. He actually is 30 years old, so we're learning a lot of people that are 30 years old there. So.
Well, I can tell you this: Jacoby Brissett will play this year, so it's just a matter of time because never heard of this guy.
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell. Never heard of him. I guess they need a number one draft pick next year, and hopefully it's a quarterback. But I think that's what Washington is going to need. They're going to need a great quarterback. They should have probably when they got who knows Tyrod Taylor or somebody like that. There's a lot of great backup quarterbacks in this league, but takes a lot of money to get them too.
Well, that's where they've kind of been stuck. They kind of tried that with Carson Wentz, and Taylor Heineke at least kind of rose up enough there that he could be an option. Jacoby Brissett's kind of that guy, one of the top backup quarterbacks in the league, and I think they probably just like the upside of Sam Howell because you kind of know what you have with Jacoby Brissett. You don't necessarily know what you have with Sam Howell. So we'll kind of see where they go from there. That will be kind of exciting. Jumping sports real quick to the NBA. James Harden, and if you haven't noticed, him and the 76ers aren't getting along. He said that he thinks the relationship is now beyond repair. This was days after he called Daryl Morey a liar. He said he'll never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. It's very interesting. Philadelphia, on their end, is planning on bringing him to camp. Of course, this is kind of the shades of the Ben Simmons stuff. I mean, this is not new for the 76ers. So it's interesting. They had some talks this offseason with the Clippers. That's where Harden prefers to go. Now star players can just tell you where you want to go and you can try to make it work. But I think at this point, Harden would probably go to Charlotte or go anywhere he wants out regardless. And it's just kind of interesting. His scoring numbers have dropped since 2019. He's down to 21 points per game last year. Of course, that was sharing the court with the MVP. So, probably the potential to have a little bit more. His assist numbers have actually gone up the last couple of years, and he's been over 10 assists per game every year the last 5 years, and actually led the league last year with 10.7 assists per game, becoming the 13th player to lead the league in assists more than once. Where would you guys kind of put James Harden at this point in his career? He doesn't seem like a number one to me, and I don't know if his game is complimentary enough again to lead the league in assists, but it's one of those kind of like when Russell Westbrook leads the league in assists. It's like he gets the numbers, but is it helping? Is it helpful assists? Which is kind of a weird way to say it, but I don't know. He's kind of a hard fit to me because I don't think he's the number one anymore, and I don't know if he's a great complementary player to be your number 2 or your number 3.
Yeah, he's got the mentality of a 1, but he doesn't want to play anything but the 1, but he's not a 1.
Yeah.
The one thing that I'm puzzled with him in this entire situation, he opted in to the contract. He did not have to. He could have become a free agent and gone wherever he wanted to. He chose to stay in Philadelphia. And now he's demanding that they trade him because he chose to stay there.
Well, now he's got this huge beef with Daryl Morey. That's the reason he went to the 76ers. That's who he was with in Houston during the highlight of his career. And so it's just kind of very strange where all this has taken a turn, and you never know what it is. Maybe it's a money thing. Maybe it's maybe he wants to be more of the star and Embiid overshines him. I'm not really sure, but I just don't know where this ends up. And if you're the 76ers, it's just more disaster. And Harden seems to somewhat kind of have. I mean, the Nets obviously didn't go well. I just don't. He's going to be, after those last 2 stops, it's going to be kind of one of those things like, do you want to risk it with him? Because the upside again is probably just not where it was early in his career.
Well, first of all, he needs to go to the gym. He needs to get in shape. But just like you said, he's not going to be the number 1 at the Clippers because they had Kwame. Then they have Paul George. So, he's looking at either a 2 or 3 guy, first threat, guys like that. But, what drives me crazy about the NBA guys is that they get paid a lot of money and they get to pick and choose where they go. And I don't think it's fair, send them to the Hawks somewhere to, put them on a not so good team.
The Pistons.
And see how, even the Charlotte Bobcats, what they call now?
Yeah, they're the Hornets again.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, might as well be the Bobcats, how many games they won for years. About the same the Bobcats did. By the way, Tommy, thanks for the heads up. I did say Clowney was drafted before Reggie Bush. That was actually Mario Williams like 10 years earlier. I'm getting older. That's the second mistake this week, or it's just way off. But what happens to all of us at times.
Clowney was what? He was 1?
He was number 1, but it was like he was like 8 drafts later. Than
yeah, when you said he came in with Reggie Bush, I was like, I don't think so.
That was a long time ago.
We'll let it go.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. But I'm glad that Tommy corrected me off there, so we can make fun of me. That's fun. I messed up quite a bit.
Brandon Clark says flight for Lincoln leaving at 4:20. Black shirt. I'm gonna need a ride from the airport to the kinder. You got me. Yikes! I shouldn't have read that.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
Well, I think Kinder's got a airport van. They got a Cadillac.
Have you been there? It looks like it.
Yeah, I stayed in the Kinder when it first was done.
It looks nice.
Oh, they have the nice warm floors in there and everything.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's a nice place to be. I want to check out the Scarlet Hotel. I haven't checked that out.
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
I might get me a room there for game night one time.
Yeah, that's really good if you're like. Is that the? No, never mind. I haven't been to the Scarlet.
Well, I don't want it to be $1,000 to stay in that. So might as well just stay at home and sleep on the couch for $1,000.
Yeah, save yourself some money. Yeah, it is fun. It is kind of interesting too to check out the hotels in your own home city. It's like I could sleep at home, but there's some cool hotels here. Maybe I should check them out.
Oh yeah, I did that plenty of times. We have a hotel by our house. We stayed in a couple of nights just to get out the house. Just take the dogs with us. Let them pee on their couches or their floors.
Somebody else clean it up.
Yeah. So I won't have to clean it up. But yeah, I like to go to Omaha and go to I stayed in a great hotel downtown Omaha. I can't think the name of it. It's a historical hotel.
Is that the old Red Lion?
Oh, I don't know. I forgot the name of it. It's been about 6 years, but it was nice. It was nice. I got to think of it. It's right downtown Omaha. It's about I want to say the Capitol building, but might be a police station down there by it. So, but I forgot the name of it. I got to think of it. But it's nice. It's a historic hotel, but it's a real nice one though. If I think of it, I'll let y'all know.
All right, yeah. I mean, I've seen some good ones in Omaha as well. Somebody says maybe Deco. I'm not sure. Candlewood, Henry says. I don't know if those are ringing a bell.
I don't know. The old school Red Lion. Man,
I think he said awesome. Let me see what he said.
Somebody said Deco. Another said
Deco.
Candlewood.
I
Is it
think the Deco. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one. I think it was that one.
There are a few good ones in Omaha. All right, let's take a quick break. We will.
Candlewood. That's not a great one.
I don't know. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back. We'll kind of let's talk Husker football. Let's just do it. We'll finish up. We're one segment away from ending the week and less than 2 weeks away from the game. So we'll finish up with some more Husker football talk next here on the Captain on 93.7 The Ticket.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's specials through August 22nd are $2 off 12-ounce grass-finished ribeyes with limit of 2 per visit. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Ironhide Construction has an immediate opening for an administrative assistant in their Lincoln office. The ideal candidate will have experience performing a variety of general office, administrative, and clerical duties. If you have excellent communication, interpersonal, and organizational skills, and are the type of person who enjoys keeping track of all the fine details, then this job is for you. Learn more online at ironhideconstruction.com/careers. Ironhide Construction. Quality buildings and genuine service at a reasonable price.
There's a buzz in the air at Kansas as drivers fight to move on to the next round of the playoffs. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
It's August, and that means summer is winding down and the kids are back to school with lots of fall activities coming up. All great things, but also cause lots of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of it all with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages. Deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Ready to upgrade your combine with new technology to make your harvest more efficient, meaning more money in your pocket? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine for harvest. Plus, when you purchase a pre-owned combine from Landmark, you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network, along with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running, reducing downtime. View inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Nick is here. What'd you call him earlier?
Yeah, he had a name. He said a name.
Can you hear Nick?
I said you look like a big swimming pool. You look like a big swimming pool over there. I called you Big Swim.
Big Swim.
All right. Should I tell the people what you called me the second week that I ever coached you?
Don't hang that over my head.
Track record here.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Captain on 93.7 The Ticket, wrapping up the show. Myself, Jake Bachman, of course, Terrell Farley, and Mike Melvin stepping in today from Husker Rewind at Finish Line, which you can listen Sunday night here on 93.7 The Ticket. VJ set to be back on Monday, so we'll kind of hear what he's been up to. Once again, Coach White and some of the defensive players were at the podium here after practice. Haven't been able to run down much of what was said, but you can catch that in the rest of the shows here on The Ticket throughout the afternoon. I'm sure there'll be plenty of talking about what was said there. But before we wrap it up, I wanted to get this might be our last send-off before we see Mike Melby before the year. So before we get to the Minnesota game, I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on that game, and then just on the year in general. Like, what's your view on it? What's your outlook? Because there's a wide-ranging views and outlooks going.
Well, I told you, I ran into somebody last night that they're going to be lucky to win 4 games. It's a proven fact. Like, how is the future a proven fact? I did not know this. The pessimistic side of me is kind of 6-6. The optimistic side of me is 8-4, just right in that 7-5 range for the season. Minnesota game, I told you earlier, I think somebody's going to kick a field goal to win it. I don't know who. I don't know if it's going to be Minnesota or Nebraska. I don't know if it's going to be a 17-14 or if it's going to be a 45-42. I don't know. I lean towards more of a low-scoring game, but I think that's going to be decided by a field goal. And I guess hopefully it's a Nebraska win. But I'm pretty optimistic about the season, and I like everything that I've heard so far and that we've been able to see, but none of that matters until the lights are on and it actually counts on a scoreboard. But I'm pretty hopeful and cautiously optimistic, I guess, that it's going to be a season that you see the improvement that you expect. And you see guys just simply get better and the team get better as it goes on.
Well, just even thinking, if it is a winning field goal for Nebraska, I don't even know who's kicking that.
I know.
Is that Bleekrode? Is that Alvano? If Alvano comes in and kicks the winning field goal against Minnesota, game 1, oh man, what a story that will be. But I'll take Bleekrode too. I mean, I know Alvano's such a good story that everybody, I feel like a lot of the fan base is probably wanting to see it, and he's got a lot of years left. But Bleekrode's a solid kicker, and so I mean, I feel pretty good with them in a competition. You know, sometimes a kicker can get the yips. Sometimes you'll just struggle from time to time. Yeah, even Brett Maher last year. Connor Culp, we saw that here at Nebraska. So it's kind of interesting, but at least I feel good that you've got 2 good kickers on the roster.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's going to go like that. Minnesota's got a veteran coach of the Big Ten. So, PJ Flick, rowed a boat guy. Bach loves him, but oh man, I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure out the way for Nebraska to show me a 2 deep lineup. I really need to see a depth chart to see how we really match up against them, because I need to know who's the second guys, besides the first guys, so we can figure. I know we need to get our wide receivers healthy. I don't think we can go into that game with young guys and try to win it without the old guys, but it's going to be very strange to see how Billy Kemp does, because I think he's going to be one of the main guys we can go to, a little slant route. I think Marcus Washington needs to come back and be very healthy for this game. I think ICG need to be ICG or
IGC.
IGC. He got so many names. But, I want to go with Nebraska right now, but I don't know. I'm still going to wait probably a day before the game, 2 days before the game to really make my mind up, because I just got to see the game. I'm not going to make a prediction for the first game. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to prognosticate and predict these things, but especially this year's team, even Minnesota.
Minnesota, I'm going with
You're
Minnesota.
picking Minnesota?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm going with Minnesota so far.
You just said you're not going to predict it.
Well, I'm going to predict it now.
Okay.
That was
It
14
changes
seconds
mine.
ago. Come on.
Yeah. Stay up. But I mean, this is a tough team to predict. There's just so many moving parts. And we can hear and like we said, you're going to hear good stuff out of camp one way or the other. But we don't really know how far along they are. And we all act like the coaches, sometimes know. Sometimes I think you can get a grip of kind of where your team's at and maybe where the future kind of holds it. But I think a lot of coaches go into years not necessarily knowing where their team's at. And I would have a hard time, they've had, and that's part of the comparison to the past year one struggles that Matt Rule's had, is that he said that he thinks Nebraska's at a lot further. So, you got to take him at his word for that. But again, it's tough to tell until you start playing the fellow competition. And one thing about Matt Rule, that he played in the Big Ten, but has not coached in the Big Ten. So I think that might be a little bit of an adjustment too that we see in year one.
Well, do they kick an onside kick though? I hope not.
Nebraska wins the toss, defers. They've got a kickoff, and it's an onside kick at Minnesota.
Talk about that for
opening kickoff. Yeah,
but they get it though.
Yeah, except this time they get it.
Yeah,
that would be. I don't know if I would even like to. I still would have to question the decision making there. I think a lot of people still just want to see maybe a fullback dive, fullback trap, start the first play.
Actually, I want to see a full-blown triple option.
Oh yeah,
with a
there you
pitch.
go.
Got to Gabe Urban.
I wouldn't mind seeing that either. I'm sure it'll be. And I kind of just want to see it be simple, because I hope that that's what they're getting back to is something simple, something to the basics.
Straight up isolation play.
I'm just like Al Davis though. Just win.
Just win, baby.
That's it.
Don't care how you do it.
Don't care how you do it. Just win.
We'll see. Hopefully there are plenty wins ahead for Nebraska and the schedule, one way or the other. It's almost our Christmas. If you're listening, for us to do this, they're living Husker football opening day is basically Christmas. It's coming in less than 2 weeks, and we'll be excited to cover it and watch it one way or the other. And hopefully they do come through with plenty of victories this year, because, well, let's just be honest. We, as a fan base, need it. We need a nice season to relax and enjoy. So that'll wrap it up. Once again, thanks to Mike Melby. One more time, promote your show so the good people can.
Husker Rewind 5 to 7 Sundays, 7 to 8. It's the finish line. So
all right,
tune in on Sundays 5 to 8. We're gonna have a good time.
All right. So we hope y'all ready for the captain to come back Monday. Get your ears right, because it's gonna be a lot of screaming in here Monday. All right, this is the ticket 93.7 on the black shirt. I'm with Bach and Mike, and we're out.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V.
Is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 7th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E6 contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. They've scouted out the best Kawasaki side-by-side deals for you. Score up to $2,500 off the 2023 Kawasaki Teryx and up to $1,000 off Mule Pro FX and FXCs. Whether you want to handle the toughest task in a trusted, tried and true mule, or looking to dominate adventure in a Teryx, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of Kawasaki side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in. The clock is running down. August 9/30/2023. Exchange without notice. Offer available. New unregistered model year exclusions apply. Copy commercial retail rates.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a